What up? What up? I see you. I see you. Who we got in here? What up, player?
What's up with you, Flair? How you doing, man?
Man, swell. How you?
I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm sitting out here in my little balcony in Santo Domingo in Dominican Republic, man. My little penthouse out here.
That's where you at?
Yeah, man, it's going down.
Live life, man. Ain't nothing
I
like
gotta
it.
live life. I gotta live life, man. I wanted to first congratulate you on all your success, man. I'm so proud of all the things you're doing, man. You make me so proud, man. To all the stuff that we've been through in life. There's been a lot of challenges, and you continue to shine, my brother. You continue to shine.
I appreciate you too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I gotta come over there and visit you one day.
Oh man, you're gonna man. We can't talk about that on here because you're gonna have a ball.
Ah. Let me get to my guest, man. I just had to holler at you.
Okay.
All right.
No, I thought I was your guest tonight, right?
Uh, I don't think so.
Yeah, today I'm your guest.
You my guest tonight?
Yeah,
You.
man. EP live, man. It's EP live.
Oh man, I'm slipping. I'm slipping.
It's all good, my brother. I'm glad you still. That shows that we got some camaraderie. That shows we got some camaraderie because you took the time to buzz me on in, man. And like I said, I'm so proud of you, man, and all the things you're doing, man. Like I said, we all been through a lot with this whole thing that we went through. You know what I'm saying? So it's been wonderful, man. It's been a
Man, they
wonderful life,
they they gave Harry a pardon yesterday.
and that's why it was great that we talking today.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Harry.
Yeah.
I ain't heard from him yet. He'll call me. I
Oh,
guess
okay.
he'll call me when he settle
I
in.
talked to him. I talked to him a few years back, maybe 3, 4 years ago at Terry Carter's office. I was doing a lot of business with Terry Carter with the real estate, and
Right.
he called Terry, and I spoke to him then, but I haven't heard from him. Then I heard he has a few health problems and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I think they say he had a stroke.
oh
I
yeah,
think they say he had a mild stroke, um, and he may have caught the coronavirus too. I think I heard that as well.
right.
But for the most part, he home.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's a lot of good brothers, man. I was with Young Tommy, and I wanted to talk about the first time I met you, man. I heard so much about you. It was like Freeway Rick, Freeway Rick, Freeway Rick, and I'm a little younger than you, but not much. But I heard so much about you. You was making so much. You was like a god in the street. And so when Tommy sent me to meet you, we used to wear big robes and all this stuff, but he wouldn't let us wear all that when we was working. So when I went to meet you, I don't
Uh,
know if you remember, you had a station wagon. It
yeah.
was like a yellow station wagon with wood grain on it. You had a bunch of paint cans in the back.
It was
So I'm like,
white.
you threw me off,
It
right?
was a white station wagon.
Okay. You had a white station wagon. There's a
Hmm.
bunch of paint cans in the back. You had your beard. You've been wearing a beard for a while. And you done had no jewelry on. You just had some jeans on. And you would just look like you was just painting apartments.
Well, that's the way that I learned to do it, so that you can keep
Yes.
some secrecy about yourself.
Yes.
I didn't want to walk down the street and everybody knew I was a dope dealer, because back when I was doing it, selling dope wasn't really cool. I didn't think it was cool.
Right, right, right.
I thought it was just a way to get some money under the radar. Not like how the kids are doing now. You got your radio on or something?
No. Why?
I had some static in there from somewhere.
Oh no, I don't have no radio on.
I had some static coming through, but back when we was coming up, you didn't want everybody to know you was selling dope.
Right.
Nowadays, these youngsters, they want everybody to know they selling dope. They all on the internet, flashing their money and with the dope, the money and the dope. I used to never keep money and dope in the same place.
Yes. Yes.
That was a no-no.
I think when we came up, it was rules to the game. you know, a lot of youngsters feel like they can make up rules, but the rules is there because somebody did it before you and before them and before them. And they just telling you, if you do this, that's going to happen. If you do this, that's going to happen. So the rules is really not something that somebody made up. It's just, you know, experience of other people doing it before us.
Exactly, exactly. Tommy was over at my shop yesterday. You know, he just bought one of them
Trucks.
yeah, one of them Viper trucks.
Hey man, I was so happy when he got out, man, you know, because it's like I said, I met you a couple times through him. I think the last time I saw you, I think we was at last time I saw you, we was at Ice-T and Coco thing. Remember at Ice-T and Coco thing at the W?
Yep.
You were there. I was there with Mike. Rest in peace, Mike.
That's when I first got out.
Yeah, but no, when you first got out, I saw you on the beach. I was on business with my boys, and I was walking west and you was walking east, and we just bumped into each other, and you had a baby. You had a fresh baby when you got out in the carriage, your little son. Remember?
Yep. I've been out about a year then.
And yeah, we chopped it up, and then you had an office in Carson. You want me to come by the office? And I came by the office, we chopped it up right there behind the Carson Mall. And then I came back. Yeah, bro.
Well, you remember. You know, my memory gone.
I got a great memory, man. I'm going to tell you something else you probably don't remember. I remember after we all got busted. I ain't going to go into all the shit we did. Everybody know the shit we did because we did some major shit. On when I was with Tommy, I say some major shit. You know, actually came into the crew as a driver. I was selling weed from the time I was 13. I come from Chicago. I was born in Chicago. I came to Compton when I was about 12, 13. So I was selling weed for years, you know. And, you know, I never wanted to up my game to that because I always thought that, you know, like you said, it wasn't a good thing to sell dope, whatever. I'm selling weed. At that time, weed wasn't even legal, you know. But, you know, you can
you know, our parents used to have a real taboo about selling cocaine.
Yeah,
you know,
they did.
If you sold cocaine, you was like, woo-wee. Like,
exactly.
They didn't want you around the house.
Exactly. So when I met Tommy, I actually met him through my friend Howard. Howard was dating Go-Go. And I was with him when he met Tommy's sister. You know what I'm saying? And so Howard started first, and then I was just kind of kicked back like, nah, I'm good. I'm doing my thing with the weed. But then when them Negroes started buying Testarossas and Porsches and all that shit, I'm like, sign me up now.
I gotta get in. Man, Howard came by my shop about a month ago.
Yeah, man, that was my boy. He lived actually right behind my mama's house. His mother lived right behind my mother, and 2 doors. Like I jump over my backyard and go 2 doors over. Howard right there. So that's how I met Tommy. When I met Tommy, he was already a millionaire, you know. But I didn't know nothing about the game, so they brought me in as a driver at first. I was just driving, and that's how I met you. I was just driving. I was a driver, but I'm glad I came through with that kind of experience because one day I was going to Beverly Hills High. You know, my twins play tennis. My twins play tennis.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, my twins played tennis. They went to St. John's University. They had scholarships at North Carolina Central. They had a scholarship for Hampton. They had quite a few, but they ended up taking St. John's. And they was doubles. So they wanted them to play as doubles because, you know, you can get 2 of the top tennis players, but they can't play good as doubles.
Right,
and so
right.
Twins ranked in the USTA in doubles. So they went to St. John's. But I remember one time going to Beverly Hills High because I had lived in View Park. And I was going to Beverly Hills High. And my twins said, they was in 11th grade. They said, Dad, you drive backwards. Like, what you mean I drive backwards? They said, you look more behind you than you do in front of you. And I didn't notice that because that's how I was trained. You know, in the game, I was trained.
Absolutely. You want to know who's telling you. You want to know who's telling you at all times.
Yes, yes. So I was more scared of the jackets than the police because the police going to take you to jail, but the jackets are going to kill you.
Real talk. Real talk. We done had a few people that we knew went down.
Yeah, a lot of people, man. You know, I remember when I first came home. Now, I'm going to tell you something you don't remember. We was all at MDC together. It was Tommy's crew. It was 17 of us. It was Harry O crew. It was Mario, Bo. It was Pat Johnson, I know real well from Compton. All our crews was there together, right? So one day we went to court, and you was like, No, I want to be handcuffed to EB because you know when you go to court, we put on the blues. We had on the tens at MDC. When we go to court, you got the
They change
blues
you
on.
out. Yeah, they change you
Yeah,
out.
so me and you got handcuffed together to go down to the courthouse. I'm like, he wouldn't want to get handcuffed to me. I'm trying to get away from all of these, you know, because I had quite a few charges, man. I had some shit in Seattle. I beat that case. Because what happened is like in 87, Tommy quit. He kind of quit, like 87, 88, he started doing bodybuilding. A lot of people
Right.
don't know. He started bodybuilding, and he was going to Gold's Gym with Mike
Go
Christian.
Jim.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I was like, dude, I can't quit right now. So I started going to Seattle. I started going to Oklahoma. I mean, I branched out like you would believe, man. And it just took off on me, you know, because I always had that entrepreneurial mindset. And that's what I always say is Street Brothers, we make the best entrepreneurs in the world because we are born with certain innate skills that people go to college for. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the things that I'm telling the brothers right now. You know, I'm working with two homeless dudes right now.
Okay.
And some just told me the other day I start filming it because I said this is something that everybody gonna need to see. That if I can take these two dudes, both of them on crack,
Okay.
admitted crack users, you know, like I use crack every day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I use crack every day. When you give me 20, Rick, when you give me my pay, I'm going to get some crack. So, you
Damn.
know, the first thing that I said I had to do was get them to want to get off crack. You know, because you don't want to get off, you ain't going to get off.
Right.
You know, somebody says you got double something on your phone. I don't know what that meant, but they said earlier. I hear that feedback. It don't when you talking, it don't do it. But when I'm talking, it's a feedback.
Okay, is that better?
Let me see.
Let me close this door.
Let me see. It's almost like an echo.
It probably was an echo. Now let's see if it's better.
Let me see. It's still coming on there for some reason. You
I'm
can't
in the,
hear
I'm
it.
on,
You can't
no,
hear
I
it.
can't hear it too. No, I can't hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it a little bit. Yeah, but I'm working with these two dudes trying to get them off of cocaine right now, man. And
Okay.
I'm teaching them how to work on cars. You know, that's the first little job I gave them. But it's interesting and it's fun to see if I can flip them. You know, I want to flip them and get them on the right track. Get them out. One is sleeping in his car, the other one is living in a tent. So, you know,
Wow.
just to say how, you know, if we put our minds to it, man, because when you're willing to really die or go to prison or kill somebody
Yeah.
to become successful, you can't lose.
Yeah.
And that's the way we work. We was willing to put all that on the line. So it's gonna be interesting to see how once the brothers learn this entrepreneurship, how when they leave these streets along and just go straight corporate, you know, and get some of this corporate money, man, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, when I came home from prison, man, I fought the state of California for 9 months. And I was probably the first and only brother in the state of California with a federal felony that I had my commercial, residential, real estate appraiser's license. Oh, they fought me. They didn't want me to have that license, but I got that license. Brenda Radley, good friend of mine, you know Brenda. She
Yeah, I
was
know
like,
Brenda.
EB, she like, EB, you ain't gonna get that shit. I'm like, watch. And I kept fighting them and I kept fighting them because I fought my case for 6 years. So I figured I could fight that shit, you know. So I ended up getting the license. And Brenda said I was in the office, EB. And it's funny because Brenda got the house that Tommy had in Compton Square. We had a house. We used to just count money in that house. I think Bootsy was staying there, his baby mama. We used to count money in that house. Just
I
count.
remember. I remember that
Yeah,
house.
we used to count millions in that house, right? So she got that house when they confiscated it because she was working for a company called R.S. Cooper. And they gave that company the house to sell, and Brenda ended up being the agent to sell a house. Well, Brenda closed my first house I ever bought. I sold all them drugs. I made all that money. I had no house, no credit, none of that shit. But I had a bunch of cars. I had a bunch of damn money and jewelry and all that dumb shit. But I didn't have no profit. But when I
Right.
came home, I made a point to get a profit. I was home a year and a half, and I found the house in View Park. It was the worst house in the best neighborhood. It was right there. If you go down Angela Vista, you see a big old house right behind the Chase Bank with a white fence around it. I put that white fence up. It looked like a castle right behind Chase Bank. That was my house. I found that house, and Brenda closed the deal because Paul Hiles, a good friend of mine. Paul was like,
I know
EB.
Paul too. I know
Yeah,
Paul.
that's my brother. That's like my big brother there, man. I love Paul, man. Shout out to Paul Hiles. But yeah, Brenda, she closed that deal for me, man, and I got a lot of properties. I started buying properties, selling properties, doing appraisals. I made a lot of money in real estate. I touched my second millions in real estate, doing the real estate thing. So I like to teach the kids, man. And like I said, that if you got the desire and that will to be successful, it doesn't matter your background. It just doesn't matter.
Right. Well, right. The will can overcome anything.
Yes.
It can overcome color, sexism, racism, anything, any obstacle that you put in front of it, it can overcome. I bought my first place about 7 years ago. I bought a duplex. I bought a duplex in LA. When I got home, it was right during the crash. So the market had crashed.
Yeah.
And I didn't really. I see all these deals, but I ain't got nothing to make no moves with. So it took me a while, and then by the time I get set, the market had done jumped back up. The LA market didn't stay down but about 4 or 5 years, and it jumped back up. So, I got lucky, and I caught this deal on this duplex, 2 4s, and it was just. It's in LA. It's in South Central.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in South Central. That's my first one, but right now I got this deal that I'm putting together in San Bernardino. It's a growth spot.
Okay.
The deal is worth about, man, they giving me estimates saying that this business is gonna make anywhere from $21 to $30 million a year.
I can believe it.
So if I pull this one off, man, I'm gonna get the Heisman Trophy. This thing ain't gonna be easy, boy. I'm gonna have to pull a rabbit out the hat. I'm gonna have to do the old dude and pull that rabbit out the hat on this
so
deal.
far you've been a magician, brother. Hey, I was thinking one day, I was like, man, if we put Freeway Rick Life and Bo Bennett and we put together Harry O and we put together Pat and all these brothers' lives, you couldn't even put that in a movie. It would have to be a series. It would be a series that would be better than Power, man. I mean, some of the stuff that we did, man. I seen it right across Cliff. I know you know Cliff. It was Tommy's good friend.
Yeah, Black Cliff. Yeah,
I ran into Cliff at a Mexican restaurant. I had never seen him since we've been home. And we got to chopping it up, man, and people was looking at us like, I mean, the shit we was talking about, it's like, I don't even like talking about that shit because it don't even sound real, the shit that we did. Because like a lot of people don't know that Tommy had a fucking race car. He had a race car. He had a dragster.
A Top Fuel race car.
Yes, he had a Top Fuel.
A nitrogen.
Racing on TV. Like dope dealer racing on TV, and when everybody had
Erick did too. Erick did too.
Erick Reed, yes. Yeah. Well, everybody they had Tide sponsors. They had Fruit of Balloon. They had Gatorade. This brother had his name. It was actually Whitmore and Reed on the side of the car, and I'm like, damn. So them peoples didn't like that. They didn't like all that stuff that he was doing like that. Like the race car people took his license. I think it was you, Tommy, and I want to say Bo Bennett. They did a 2020 special on y'all or something. You remember that? Was it you?
Oh, that was me, Harry O, and Honcho.
Oh, okay.
They call it LA Gang Godfathers. It was LA Gang Godfathers. That's what it was. That's what you're talking about.
They had Tommy on one show and said he was a convicted drug dealer, but he was actually in jail for a gun. He wasn't a convicted drug dealer at that time. This was back in the 80s. And
yeah,
so
you talking the one they did was LA Gang Godfathers.
2020.
Yeah, that was LA Gang Godfathers.
Right. So we did some really interesting things, man. I had a great life. Like I tell people all the time, man, if the good Lord took me now, I'd be happy. I did everything I wanted to do in my life. I raised my kids. I put 4 through college, and I did what I had to do, to be an outstanding citizen when I came home. You know, I ain't broke no laws. I've been doing everything legal. I made millions again, and now I'm traveling the world. I'm in Dominican. I'm going to hit Colombia. I'm about to hit Brazil. You know, I'm just gonna do the whole little South America tour right now.
So right now you just touring.
I'm not just touring, I'm promoting as well my business, but I'm not going to talk about it on this call. I promise I wouldn't promote. I'm not trying to promote. You know, you got a great team. They make sure, you don't do no promote. I don't want to promote.
Oh, you met, you met CC.
You got a great team, bro. I ain't
Hey,
going to
hey,
front.
CC don't play. Hey, CC don't
CC
play.
No, I got love for CC. She about her business. I ain't mad at her.
No. CC gonna be running things. I'm looking for great things out of CC. You know, when I
Yeah.
met Tommy was before 14 years old.
He told me you gave him the name Young Tommy. I didn't know that. He said, man, Freeway Rick gave me that name. I was like, what? But I wanted to say one thing about you. A lot of people don't know, man, is you did a lot of good to a lot of people. You helped a lot of people. And these hustlers now, I look at these youngsters, my cousin, them, all them, you know, they locked up now. But the way they was hustling, they drive by their homies and they be like, look, nigga, I got the new rape. I got this. What you doing? We wasn't doing it like that. We was pulling each other up. We had a whole different get down than these youngsters.
Yeah. But and that spilled over into other fields.
Yes.
They do this and they won't help you in no field. You know, I look at some of these brothers and they say they're making all that money and what they do with their money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can only buy so many cars and
Yes.
so many houses. When are you gonna start helping your family, helping your friends? You know, helping your community get on the right track? And that was something that hustlers, we had that. You know, we had that wanting to lift each other up, wanting to see another one do well. So it's definitely a different time.
It is, but I'm not trying to knock our youngsters. I love our youngsters. Every chance I get, I talk to them best I can, to those that are listening. And I just think that they just lack guidance. Like you said, when we grew up, if you wanted to be a pimp or if you wanted to be a jewelry robber, whatever it is you wanted to be, the older homies will put you under their wing and give you the rules to the game. They didn't let you just go out there and do that shit. You had to get some kind of training. Like even when I came into the dope game, like I said, Tommy and them trained me. I didn't know nothing about no dope. They trained me, and I was driving and, you know, meeting people and doing shit. I thought I was making money. I wasn't making shit until I really started getting in the game. But I learned the rules.
Right.
So they gave me the rules. So I learned, you know, I learned a lot of things, man, about who to trust, how to do things, and how to move. You know, it's very important, man, because, you know, it's a lot, like you said, man, we got a lot of friends that got killed, man. I know you remember Rod, you know, used to live in the Compton Square with us, man. He got killed right there at that Sizzler on Prairie. It was just crazy, man. I was in Seattle and they called me, and, you know, he lived on that corner, he died on that corner, and we buried him on that corner, right in that funeral home right there on Prairie.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, so many people from my era, you know, died in the game. You know, Blackjack, Green, and you know, Daft. I mean, it just go on and on. LaRue. You know, it was like that was part of, you know, dying was part of living when you're in that game. You know, and dying young.
And a lot of people don't realize that the movie Training Day, I got drawn down on one time. I got drawn down on some dudes that they wasn't who I thought they was. I didn't know if they were some jackers or the police, but they was some other people. But anyway, the police was doing a lot of jacking back there, robbing, killing, you know. So that whole Training Day shit was based on some shit that was going on in LA. I mean, that was some real shit. I think you experienced some of that.
The Freeway Task Force. That was their name, the Freeway Task Force. Shit, hell yeah, I remember them motherfuckers.
Hell yeah, they was.
I got scars in my head from them and dog bites on my legs.
See, yeah, man, that was some real shit.
Had boot marks on my chest and my back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they was ruthless. Matter of fact, one of the cops' daughters called me the other day and asked me why was I bad mouthing her daddy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I said because he was a thug.
It was the biggest gang in LA at one time. Man. I mean, it's still hard all over the world.
And they was more ruthless. They was more ruthless than the Crips and the Bloods.
Yeah, because there was a lot of money in the streets, man. There was millionaires. Damn near every neighborhood had a millionaire back then. These kids don't have no idea how we really was able to get out. How you can't do that no more because of technology and a lot of other factors. It's not because we was all that. It's just it's impossible for them to do it the way we did it because it was, you know, it wasn't like I said. When I first got out, I saw a dude on a bus with a cell phone, and it messed me up because I remember paying $3,000-4,000 a month bills for cell phones.
Man, I
You remember
remember my first cell phone bill was $8,000.
that? For
You know,
1 month?
I got my first, yeah, I got
For
my
what?
first,
Oh
when I got
my
my
God.
first phone, it was in a Grand Wagoneer. And
Damn.
I had the one in the briefcase, but it never worked. So, you know, wasn't able to run up a phone bill on that one. But when I got the one in the phone, they worked great.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and it was about 90 cents a minute for a phone call. And
Yeah.
everybody that got in my car wanted to get on the phone. And I'll be like, go ahead. Until I got that phone bill. I said, man, shut that motherfucker off.
Yeah,
Business
cause
calls only.
yeah, cause the way they was doing it, if you talk for 10 seconds, they counted a whole minute back then. Remember?
Yeah, yeah. And then I remember when I bought the whole crew phones, you know, our bill be like $30,000-40,000 a month just for phone bills, man. It was crazy. But you know, when you're making it like that, you don't really care. I mean, you do care, but you really don't care.
Yeah, yeah, because I know you was getting it like people don't. It's just unimaginable the kind of money you was getting back then.
You gonna make me bring Tommy on, man. You gonna make me bring Tommy
I
on here,
know,
man.
I know. I seen Tommy do $1 million a day. I know what you was doing, so I mean it was going down. But when I left Tommy's crew, it's like he quit for a while. I couldn't quit. I went to Seattle, started doing my thing, and other states. I was doing about 400,000 a month, which ain't, you know, nowhere near what I was seeing y'all do. But I was doing it. I was doing it on my level. I was going out of town. I think we were some of the first people doing the mail before anybody was doing that shit. I never had no problems in the mail. I did that shit for years, money and products for years. I was doing FedEx and shit before anybody knew about that shit. You know what I'm saying? So we was killing the game with it. But the gang banging and shit, you know, kind of messed it up. I grew up in Compton. A lot of my homies grew up in Atlantic Drive and Santana and South Side is where I'm from. I bought a lot of gang bangers. I never was a banger. I was always about my money. But everybody I hung around was banging. And you know, the whole drug thing is responsible for the Crips and Bloods being all over the country. And I know I had my share in being a part. Because some of my homies are still in Seattle and still in Oklahoma and stuff. They went with me, but they got families and stuff now. But I'm saying we definitely was a part of that whole gang transcending throughout the country from the whole drug trade. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I think we're looking at a different future right now, man. Business is looking funny. Everything, this coronavirus got everything just uncertain right now. A lot of people are uncertain about where we're going and what's happening.
Well, you know, this is the time that everybody should be studying and planning and getting their strategies together. You know,
Yeah,
so when this thing is over, they can make it pop off. You know, I already did my studying. I studied for 20 years while I was in there. That's all I did was study. I read over 300 books while I was gone.
that's good. We
I know
all do.
you had told me about you was doing the credit too for a while.
Yeah, because I was trying to get you. I had got about 150 people funded at one time, but then I got more into the crypto. I've been doing the cryptocurrency Bitcoin for about 4 years. I've been out the country for a year living on my Bitcoin, and that shit's still growing.
For
But
sure,
yeah,
for sure.
I was doing that because I came from real estate, so that's pretty much a credit based industry. And I had so many underwriters I knew I was doing that. I think I came to your office about that. You were doing the t-shirts at one time. The real Freeway is not a rapper. I think
Yep,
that's
yep. That was my first source of income when I got
yeah,
out, you know.
yeah, yeah. I seen you when you first got out. I think that was when you first got out. But I seen you with your son. That was a year after you got out. But I think I seen you once at Earl's Grill when you first got out. You came to Earl's Grill on Crenshaw. I love
That
that spot. Shout
that
out to
was
Earl's
that was my office.
Grill.
I stayed at Earl's Grill.
And I mean, I've seen you quite a few times on the streets, man. I mean, we interacted, and I'm just thankful, man, that I've had an opportunity to meet brothers like yourself. I talked to Harry extensively when we was at MDC. I didn't really know him on the streets. I went to his restaurant a couple times with Tommy and them because he had a restaurant. Didn't he, down there in
His
like
mom did.
somewhere? He had a restaurant.
Yeah,
And
that was his
I
mom's
remember
restaurant.
seeing him with Vanessa Williams when she lost her crown. He was with her. Around the time she lost that crown, I seen him with Vanessa. And
Yeah.
she wasn't nobody big then. I mean, she had won the crown, but she got the crown taken. And they just don't realize, man, a lot of brothers contribute to a lot of things from the streets. And I didn't know you invested in Anita Baker when she first started. I just found that out talking to you. I think in Carson, you told me that.
Yeah. Well, you know, a dude that I used to play tennis with, his son, you know, used to look out for me. He found Anita Baker.
Okay.
And he needed some funds. So you know, I lent him the funds, you know, but didn't know what to do with it, you know, didn't know how to really get into that game. And, you know, he was telling me to quit selling dope and get all the way into the music. And I was like, if I get into that, I'm gonna be like you, needing some money.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, how somebody that need money gonna tell you to quit getting money?
And that was a smart move because I remember in the 80s, you know, I went to school with Dre, Andre Young, Dr. Dre. I went to school with him. He went to Roosevelt with me. And we used to walk to school together. And he was DJing. And when I started hustling, like really hustling, it wasn't just easy. Eric Wright, I knew him, but it was a lot of brothers that he asked for some money, you know. But I didn't have a vision, man. I had no vision, you know. And so he had asked me and my boy Moan for some money to start something. And you got to remember, all I saw Drake doing was scratching records. And there was no real rappers on the West Coast at that time. And so I didn't, you know, I passed up on the opportunity because I didn't have no vision. As a street hustler, all you see is I give you this, you give me that. I give you this, you give me that. You know, nobody really sees that vision like what Dre had, you know. And
Right.
boy, looking back at it, boy, I wish I'd have had that vision, but I just didn't have that vision. But it's funny because all of us was at MDC when the whole Death Row shit went down. I went to school with Suge Knight too. I played football with Suge Knight. I knew Suge very well.
Yeah, you
I
know,
was.
me and Harry were sellies.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, me
Yeah,
and
he
Harry
gave me
was
a lot of
sellies.
game on the corporations. He gave me the game on the corporations. I went to MDC after I did about 6 years. They sent me to MDC, and I was getting ready to go to Nellis with Paul now. But I stayed at MDC for like a month. And so Harry O, I was like the only one he would really talk to because he remembered me from the street. Because, you know, he kind of like, he don't be talking to everybody.
No,
Because you got a lot of dudes in
Harry
there.
was in them books.
Yeah, but he the one shared with me the real corporate get that. I learned a lot of corporate things from him, and then I just took it from there and started studying more. But he kind of gave me the game on how the corporations work. That's how I got that from him.
Well,
I,
I heard Harry help Big Hugh too.
he
I heard he
did.
gave Big Hugh some game when Hugh was in there with him.
I wouldn't be surprised because he's a smart brother. The brother got a lot of intelligence, man. He as far as business, he one of the sharpest brothers I met as far as business.
No doubt, I totally agree. I totally agree. And he didn't waste his time sitting in there, sitting on his hands. Harry was in there working and planning. I already know he got movies wrote and TV shows wrote, and, you know, because Harry was actually writing TV shows and movies and all that when he was in there. So
Right.
we looking for big things out of Harry when he get his feet planted on solid
Yeah,
ground.
he's looking for some kind of internet thing too, because I like to talk to him because I'm doing some stuff on the internet with my schools and stuff. But I wanted to talk about like out of everybody on our case, it was 17 people. It was just ironic that they took me and Tommy, and we was the ones that got designated to Lompoc. So out of everybody on the case, of course, me and him got handcuffed together. They put that black box on him, and we rode to Lompoc, and I'm bitching and complaining. And these MS gave me 10 years. How the hell I'm gonna get 10 years? And I'm just bitching and complaining. And Tommy looked at me. He said, "Man, I ain't got no date, man." I dropped my damn head. Was like, "Damn, I need to shut the hell up, right?" But when I had dreams of Tommy coming home one day. So when he came home finally, man, I was so happy because he's a good brother, man. I never seen nothing but good things out of him. He took care of his whole crew. You know, there was people that used to go to him and say, "Hey, man, EB work for you?" He'd be like, "Nah, man, we're a team. We work together." You know, he never degenerated nobody. You know, he always was concerned about everybody. I just saw him do an interview with Dewan. I remember Dewan got his 20 years. I wanted to sock the judge for giving that 19-year-old kid 20 years. And I was so mad when they did that. But he had an interview with Tommy a couple of weeks ago, and Tommy said some things I didn't even know. And he said that when he listened to his videos, he was like a monster. He didn't recognize himself when he listened to the audios. We had like a bunch of tapes on our case. It was a 3-year investigation, and he didn't recognize himself, and he thought that anybody that heard that would have thought he was not a good guy. But I bear the difference, man. He was an outstanding guy. He took care of his whole family, all his baby mamas. He took care of them very well. I know because I was one of the ones taking the money for him. So I seen how he took care of his people. And I just thought he was a great guy, man. I always prayed that he came home, and it's ironic how he came home by his own merit. He beat his own case. All that money for all them attorneys didn't do nothing. And he told me when he got out, he came to see me. I had a hair store I was trying to make it a hair store / dispensary, but it didn't work out. But I had a hair store in Manchester and Western, right there on Harvard. And he came by there, we chopped it up, man, we hugged, we took pictures. We went out to lunch a couple of times. And, he told me he started going at 2007, he took over his own case. A lot of people don't know he had 12 40-year sentences. And he had the 848A, I think, and 848B, which is career criminal enterprise, and which is really no date on that, I don't think. So
No date.
Yeah, he had life. And he beat it on his own. 2007, he said, I went to the weight pile, and then I went to the law library, and I stayed in the law library, and that's how he was able to give some of that time back. But I think Obama passed some things too, because they were just giving brothers just astronomical time. It didn't even make sense. It was unconstitutional and all kind of stuff how they was doing this.
Yeah, they were. Obama definitely started the ball to rolling, and we need more people to really look at these drug laws and see them for what they are, because a lot of them are racist.
Yes.
Racially motivated. So me and Dewan were sellies too. It's crazy you mentioned
Oh,
Dewan.
it is. He
I
was
was
at
on the plane.
Lompoc with me. He's a hell of a baseball player, a
We
hell
we
of a rapper.
we
I
I
used
was
to do his beats. I used to do all his beats for him. And ask him about me. I used to do his beats at Lompoc. We had my mom came to visit me one day. She said, it sounds like y'all having a concert in there. I said, we are. We had a 12-track studio. We had
we
it made up in Lompoc, man. We was
we
putting
picked him.
together.
I was on the plane when they picked Dewan up in where they picked Dewan up in was it St. Louis? I think they picked him up in St. Louis. We picked him up on
Okay.
Aircon in St. Louis, and I looked. I
Oh,
said, "Man, what is this?"
when he first got sentenced?
Yeah, right after he got sentenced, they picked him
Oh,
up.
okay.
And they took us all back to MDC. We was all going back to MDC.
Yeah.
So
MDC.
yeah, that was a time.
It
Man,
was.
we've been on here for a minute, man. We're gonna get ready to get off. Tell everybody how they can get in touch with you, because some people might want to holler at you. So
Okay, if
tell
they want
tell
to
them how to
holler at
get
me,
at you.
yeah, they can go to thefamilycashmachine.net or .com, the Family Cash Machine. We teach generational wealth. It's not about money. I had money. Rick then had a gang of money. We know it's not about money. It's about wealth, generational wealth. How do you generate that? So go to thefamilycashmachine.net, and you guys can contact me on there, and or go to my Instagram at EB Loving Life, because I'm loving life right now. That's how you guys can find.
Man, y'all follow the homie. Check him out. He giving up some good game. You heard it right here live on my show. So, hey, thanks, homie. You gonna make me get
Hey
Tommy on
man,
here now.
hey
I'm gonna
man,
have to
thank
tell
you, man.
Tommy he
Get
gotta
Tommy
come
on
on.
the show, man. Y'all got to chop it up, man. Come on, man. Y'all
We gonna
legends,
do
man.
that. We gonna do that. Harry too. I'm gonna get Harry on here too.
Okay, I love you, Rick, man. Take it
One
easy.
love, E.
All right.
Man, thank everybody for tuning in. As always, we trying to bring you some stuff that you ain't heard from some people that you don't know, but maybe you should know their story. And that's what we're trying to do. We appreciate all y'all for coming in. Don't y'all forget, y'all know they stood my boy Nafir up the other day for his fight. The fighter came to the weigh-in and refused to get in the ring. Sad situation. Hey, so y'all go in there, follow my boy, tell him, don't worry about it. He's still going to get his shot. The boy going to be a champ. I guarantee you. With that, I'm out. Thank y'all again. Peace.